Hey guys, it's Leesh, and welcome to another episode of Card Confessions. Listen, for those of you all who are listening to this on what do you call it? On the regular podcast platforms, it's a little later than when I normally post, but it's right on time, whatever. For those who are watching on YouTube, hey guys. I normally For those who know, I normally record on Wednesdays and then I post on Thursdays, but today is a Thursday day. So I'm going to record on Thursday, post on Thursday. It's been a week. This is my wife's birthday, so happy birthday to my wife. Gemini's out there, what? And also it's the last day of school. Y'all know I work in the school, and so today is the last day. I'm actually wearing regular clothes because I thought, the likelihood of someone coming in and needing me to, let me not say that because then something will happen and then I'll be like, man, I should have wore scrubs. But anyway, last day of school, getting myself together to head in here and say goodbye to all the little friends and be ready for the summer break, y'all. I am so ready to just not, be in this crazy rat race routine of getting up in the morning, going to work, blah, blah, blah. I just need some time to kind of regroup and get myself together. So it's really good to, you know, be in this situation where I have the ability to have breaks and just kind of get myself together and, be able to return to a job that I really do like. But, with anything, you just need a break, and I feel like, you know, at this point, everyone that I work with, myself included, we're like, yeah, we need a break. And so it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a nice summer break. I'm excited for what is to come. Yeah. So that's what's going on with me. How are y'all? What's going on? How are you doing? How's life? I hope you are doing well. I hope as the summer continues to blossom and do its thing, that you have a wonderful time this summer. The weather, believe it or not, is pretty nice in New York City. It's a little chilly this morning. I mean, it's almost 7:30 in the morning, but what's my car say? It's 68 degrees. So not terrible right now. Terribly cold or hot. It's kind of like very, very chill. But yeah, I wanted to pop on to always check in to see how y'all are doing, and then also just to remind everyone that this life is so beautiful and so precious, and we just never know when we will transcend to the next thing, right? Passing away from this life and to the next thing. But I rarely get on social media or any other platforms in the mornings. I'm trying to, pray and meditate and just keep myself in that state, that mindset before I actually have to get into everyday life. Of course, I got on to see, here's the thing about driving in New York. Some of these people, I'm like, danger, danger, danger. Just coming right into traffic, not even looking or paying attention to what they're doing. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, so, I got on Facebook this morning and I saw that someone that I, was really, pretty close to when I was younger, in my early 20s, passed away. And he's a little older than I am. He's been dealing with, you know, cancer, and we all know what that looks like. What cancer does to the body, what it does to family, what it does to friends, how it affects the whole community that a person is a part of that is diagnosed with it. Um, and it's just so wild because when you think of people in your life, right, and you think of them having an illness, particularly people who you just would never imagine to be that would never have to succumb to something like cancer or some really serious disease. It just shows you how fragile life is, how we can't take things for granted, and we have to seize the day, each and every day, like it's our last day, you know. And for me, I'm finding more and more that is so important. That this life is meant to be lived. It's not meant for us to, you know, constantly worry about our bills and the money and, our jobs and whatever else that we think is defining us. It's meant for us to live and to enjoy. I know society a lot of times doesn't really allow us to see that and experience that. But, I am challenging myself each and every day. I think it starts just with us. It starts with us that narrative, saying, what, I'm not going to be, a person that's going to constantly subscribe to this, hustle culture. I think I was talking about this last week, actually, about the NAP ministry and how Trisha Hersey and her book, Rest is Resistance. How, changing this mindset around hustle culture and really trying to, rest and enjoy this life and take the time to really do what is necessary to see a fulfilled life and not constantly be in this work mode and thinking that is everything of, and that is who we are, as beings on this earth. And I've always wondered, like when people are passing, like, you'll hear like after, you'll hear people who have, said that they have experienced near-death experiences and all this, and that they tell certain stories. So for those who are truly in transition and, are moving on, per se, I've always wondered what that is like, right? Like, what are all the thoughts and feelings that are happening at that moment or in those moments? Because some people, and we, many of us have seen where we've had family members or friends or whatever, people in our lives that were actively dying, right? Like there was nothing else that medical intervention could provide. And so it's just them just waiting on the inevitable, right? But, that's one part of it. But like I said, in those moments of just really true transition, that's where I've always been so interested in, wondering what people are thinking and feeling. If this life is even something they're even, questioning. Like it's just something I've always wondered. And like even beyond, our day-to-day hustle and what we consider important, you know, if that isn't what they're thinking about, I should have, you know, paid that bill or whatever. I don't know. If they're not worried about that, and that's not what this life was meant to be about, how do we start changing that narrative, right? Like, how do we get to a point where it's like, this was not even meant for me. Like, this was not me, showing up to work and, punching a clock every day for somebody else's benefit, really, at the end of the day, 'cause it's their business. And listen, I'm not taking away from your job. Like, unfortunately, and fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we have to survive in this society by way of, making money, however that looks, some type of, there's no other way around it, at this point. So yeah, there's no denying that. Like, I'm not in Delulu land thinking we don't need money. Well, I mean, hopefully at some point we can get to that mind frame and that state. Death always brings that to mind for me. It always kind of puts it in the forefront for me. It's like, is this really what life is supposed to be? Like, are we supposed to be just out here just killing ourselves while others are just chilling, living their best lives? Or are we all supposed to be living our best lives? Are we all supposed to be living in abundance and wealth and prosperity and joy and peace? Something to think about. It's really something to think about, because it's like this whole idea of hierarchy, and certain people are afforded wealth and prosperity and joy, and some of us are, I guess, afforded the struggle, and just making it, living paycheck to paycheck and all that jazz. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's never made sense. And even as a child, when I would see and experience people who had, an abundance of all the things, and there's no shame in having abundance at all. But to know that there's so many people who are lacking, it's just wild to me that this person is allowed or afforded all these things, and then I'm not. Why? But why? Seriously, like, what did you do that I didn't do? And okay, that's what you did. Because I'm a person, someone that figures things out. I've always been like that. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to put feelings in things because feelings can really, you know, create murky waters in terms of trying to really get a concrete idea of how to figure things out. Pull feelings out of this. Feelings aside, how did you get that? How did you do that? Okay. So if that's it, that if that's what it takes, right? Then I would like to do that. But if it's something that requires some type of like shady shit where I'm going to, step on people to get to the top, I don't want to be a part of that. That's never been me. I don't need anything that bad. Uh, and the thing is, like, why do we have to, go that route? Why do I have to step on someone else or crush somebody else's dream or whatever in order for me to then be on top? Like, why can't it just be all of us in that space? Um, and at the same time, if that is the system and that's how it works, why don't we just get rid of that, right? Like, why don't we then completely eradicate that whole ideology and that system, um, if we are all in a position to thrive and and do well, if that is a possibility, then this whole idea of this person earns this person earns that, based off whatever criteria has been implemented in this society that has clearly been created. This is not something that was set in stone by any whatever, right? Like this was all created by someone. This was somebody's idea. Like how we operate each and every day in this society. Someone created this. Like think about that. Like someone created how we work each and every day, how the systems in this society work. And that person's idea, those persons that came together to create this, that was their idea then. Like think about that. Like if those people, or if it was one person, I don't know, because I haven't gone that far into it. But if that was their idea of how people should operate and live and breathe and move, and it's clearly not working, guys. I mean, let's just keep it real. This stuff is not working. If that was created, we can then rearrange this, actually tear it down, and start something afresh that benefits everyone, that benefits the planet, that honors the earth and the environment that we live in, and it allows all of us to live in harmony and in peace and in prosperity and abundance. It's possible. And then at the end of, the lives that we live here on this beautiful earth, we can leave it knowing that we had a wonderful experience. The people around us have had a wonderful experience and will continue to have a wonderful experience. Because that's another thing I think about is like when people do transition, is that a thing too? Is like the worry of what will come of my loved ones, right? Knowing that this world is so destructive and toxic and evil and cruel, what will become of those family members? I don't know. I don't know if people think that or not, but these are thoughts that come in my head. I don't know. But I do know that everything that I was sharing about creating a new world, a new earth where we all can prosper and live well, it is possible. It is possible. And slowly, over the course of a few years, been really learning about this whole idea of scarcity. I didn't realize I was living in scarcity for the longest. I just thought this is just the way we live, the way we think, the way we feel. Oh my gosh, I got mine, you got to get yours. And I've never really been like that, but I know that's how a lot of people operate. My thing is, I'm not a competitive person. I don't care about competing. Like that kind of stuff is like, okay, whatever. If I'm going to do something, I'm doing it because I want to be a better person. I want to, um, enrich my life or whatever I'm doing in this life. It's not to be like, Nana, boo boo, look at me. You can't do this. I don't care about that kind of stuff. It's too much work anyway, especially when it's going to, once again, bring somebody down or make them feel like, they don't have what I have or make them feel less than. What's the point? Like, because you're constantly going to be striving to do that. Like, there's never going to be an end game, right? There's going to be someone else that's going to be in your way, and you got to prove yourself there and, shoot them down. Too much work, guys. But anyway, back to the point. Living in prosperity, living in peace and joy, And it's not going to be perfect because, it's life. Life happens this way where certain things and certain people and situations will want to make it about them and create that selfishness in it. Or still, there'll be people with a scarcity mindset. And there's no right or wrong in, hold on a minute, I don't know. The point of it is, in my mind, in my world, I want to create this place where everyone is winning, where everyone is prospering. And regardless of what I think or feel about that person, I should not take away from their prosperity and joy and peace because I don't like what they do. If people aren't harming me or harming anyone else, causing strife and pain to anyone, just because I disagree with them doesn't mean that they shouldn't prosper. We just really have to get to that point in life. I really feel that. I feel like at this point, knowing how short we have on this earth, it's such a short time. And some of us have longer, some of us don't. But regardless, it's not a long time here. And it's like, why not be here and live the best lives we can? I just don't think that's an issue. I don't see why it's so hard for us to have that be a goal in this life. Live the best life that I want to live, and then experience this life in the ways that I want to experience it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, as long as we aren't causing harm and we are, creating a place where everyone is able to thrive and live and be, why not? Why not? I don't know, y'all. But to my long friend who passed, it's so sad because I haven't seen him in so long. I pray all is well with his family and friends, sending peace and love to them. I'm at work, y'all. So I'm waving. You're probably like, oh, where are you waving at, girl? But yeah, sending peace and love and comfort to his family and closest friends at this time. Because that loss, it's just, it's such a huge loss. He was such an amazing person. And yeah, I feel from what I knew about, all the things he did in his life, he did a lot of things and he enjoyed this life. And so I hope that was what he had in mind in terms of the life that he lived to the fullest. And that he left this earth knowing that he did his best and that, he knew he was loved because this guy trust me, he was loved. He was loved. Such a beautiful spirit. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm here at work. Gotta get myself together. It's the last day. So excited. But yeah, y'all, live this life to the fullest. Make changes. Create change that allows us to enjoy this life and to see this life in the beauty that it is. And try to remove yourself as much as possible from this idea of hustle, 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 and scarcity. I'm going to lose if you get. Let's cultivate this idea that abundance is literally what it stands for, abundant. And that anyone has the opportunity to have and be in that space of abundance. Let's create that for ourselves. I feel like that is so necessary more than ever. All right, guys, I'm trying to get this car parked. What is happening here? Okay. All right, be back up. There's a certain sign I have to be behind. And I did it. I made it. I don't know if you guys have an iPhone. This is totally off the subject, but iPhone has all these different features where you can kind of like do thumbs up. You can do peace signs. Listen, try pretty much anything, and you'll see they have all these little fun little things that happen, reactions. It's hilarious. I just had to let you know that. Anyway, y'all, I'm at home, Lord, I'm at work. And I'm excited for this last day. Excited to see the children off. And like I always say, y'all, let's just keep on keeping on. And I will see you next week. All right.